Namaste student. Today we are going to continue the topic that we left in the previous class, that is comparison of physical properties of metals with non-metals. So in this class what we are going to do is we are going to discuss the other physical properties which are present in metals and non-metals. Okay, so the next physical property that we are going to discuss is your malleability. Okay, then what do you mean by malleability? The property by which a substance can be converted into thin sheets on hammering or rolling is known as malleability. So what happens when a substance is subjected to hammer or it is rolled under a very high pressure, then it will convert into a very thin sheet, and this property is known as your malleability. So let us see in metals are generally malleable in nature. Example: gold, silver, aluminium, copper, lead, iron. Among these you will find that the gold is having highest malleability. Means among all these metals you will get the thinnest layer of your gold metal. Okay, now let us see non-metals. Non-metals are generally non-malleable or brittle in nature. Okay, means if you are going to hammer it or roll it, it will be converted into a fine powder or pieces, so they are brittle in nature. Example is phosphorus, carbon, sulfur, boron. Okay, now here are some exceptions. In exceptions, metals like sodium, potassium, they are non-malleable in nature. Okay, so they cannot be converted into thin sheet. Example, in case of non-metals, exception is graphene, a form of carbon, is highly malleable material. Okay, from in fact, it is the highest malleable material. A single layer of graphene will be 100 and thousands times thinner than your hair. So you can imagine it's a very thin layer. Okay, now golds and silver, they are highly malleable in nature. Now as you know that they, among all the metals, the silver and gold, they are highly malleable in nature. Now the next property is your ductility, the property by which a substance can be drawn or molded into thin wire is known as ductility. So if a substance can be converted into a very thin wire, this property can be regarded as property of ductility. So let us see, most metals are ductile in nature. Okay, so generally metals are ductile in nature. Example: gold, silver, copper, aluminium, iron. So you know that again here also the most ductile metal is your gold. Now non-metals are non-ductile in nature. Okay, the examples are sulfur, phosphorus, graphite. Okay, so these are non-ductile non-metals. Yeah, again there is a exception. Exception is in case of metals, zinc, arsenic, sodium, they are non-ductile metals. Okay, now what about non-metals? In non-metals, carbon nanotubes, that is a electrope of carbon, is highly ductile. Okay, you can know that from that carbon nanotubes, they are very thinner, means they are so thin that they are not even visible through the naked eye. Okay, so among the metals, the most ductile metal is your gold, that I have already explained to you. Now the next property is your tensile strength, the property by which a substance can bear a lot of strain without breaking is known as tensile strength. That means we can say that the maximum load beared by a substance is known as its tensile strength. Okay, the maximum load that can be supported by a material is known as its tensile strength. So let us see, metals, they are having generally high tensile strength. Example is tungsten, steel, titanium, copper. Among all these metals, tungsten is having the highest tensile strength. But since it is very costly, so mostly the steel, they are used as a rope in your cranes. Okay, which is used for lifting purpose. Now, what about non-metals? Non-metals generally they don't have tensile strength. Example: sulfur, boron, phosphorus. Okay, so these are non-metals. Now here also there are exception. For example, metals like sodium, mercury, and potassium does not have tensile strength because they cannot be converted into a thin wire or thin sheet. So that's why they don't have any tensile strength. What about carbon fibers? Carbon nanotubes having very high tensile strength. In fact, the tensile strength of carbon nanotube is much more than many metals. Okay, except few metals, the carbon nanotube is having very high tensile strength. Okay, one of the highest tensile strength. Now metals like lead, aluminium, gold, silver, they have low tensile strength. Okay, so there are also metals like lead, aluminium, gold, silver, they have low tensile strength, and for this reason the gold, whenever they are going to make the jewelry, they are mixed with a little amount of silver to increase its tensile strength and make it more durable. Now next physical property that we are going to discuss is your density. Okay, so let us come on to the metals. Metals generally have high density. Examples are osmium, platinum, gold, lead. In that, osmium is having the highest density. Now let us come on to the non-metals. Non-metals usually have low density. Examples are silicon, boron, sulfur, carbon. Okay, so in that also the silicon is having the lowest density. Now here are some exceptions. Metals like sodium, potassium, lithium, they are having so low density. Okay, they have very low density. And non-metals, that is a diamond, have very high density. So metals like sodium and lithium, they usually float above water. The reason behind it is because they are lighter than water. Okay, now let us come on to the next topic, that is your sonorosity. The property by which a substance makes a ringing sound when hit with a hard object is known as sonorosity. So it means the property by which a substance, when it is strike, it will make a sound. Okay, so let us see. In metals, metals are generally sonorous, produces ringing sound or collision. Example: iron, aluminium, copper, zinc, gold. So most of the metals, they are having characteristic sound. Now what about non-metals? Non-metals are generally non-sonorous. Example: sulfur, phosphorus, boron, carbon. Now in the sonorosity, you will not be finding any exception. Now here are the last property, that is nature of oxide. So what about nature of oxide? In case of metals, most of the metals give rise to basic oxide which dissolves in water. Okay, so when dissolved in water, metal will form basic oxide. So examples are sodium oxide, potassium oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide. Okay, so what about then non-metals? Most non-metal produce acidic oxide when dissolved in water. For example, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, phosphorus, pentoxide. Okay, so these are the examples of your oxide which are acidic in nature, and these are the example of oxide which are basic in nature. Now here are some exceptions. Oxides of aluminium oxide, oxides of aluminium like aluminium oxide and zinc oxide, they act as both acidic as well as basic. Okay, so they are also known as amphoteric oxide, that we are going to discuss in the next class. Now there are some non-metal oxide like carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, and nitrous oxide, which are neutral in nature. Okay, so there are also some oxide which are neutral in nature, and there are also some oxide which are both acidic as well as basic oxide. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss today. Okay, so here are the some questions related to the topics which we have discussed. Please go through these questions and write the answers of this question in your homework notebook. Thank you.